are back and we are live in the Messenger Studios, and today I have a special guest. Super awesome to have you in the studio, Jacob Butler of the Meade County Recycling Center. And I'm going to say that again, the Meade County Recycling Center, where the Meade County Recycling Center services our county and the surrounding counties and people from across the state to actually bring their recycling goods to Meade County. And it's actually a revenue source for our county, if you didn't know that. But today, Jacob and I are going to talk trash. I'm glad you're here, Jacob.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so you just came from the pit. It looks like you've been working hard out in the sun all day. I can see the sun has bared its tone on you.
It does that from time to time.
So, you know, I saw you at the last chamber meeting, and I thought it was a great opportunity to get you on here just to talk trash, and specifically about the types of recycling that you do and how that plays. But tell us a little bit about what is some of your big projects you got going on right now.
Right now, I know that the whole county knows that we had lost a building back in December.
Yeah.
The biggest project that we're doing right now is trying to get that back.
Yeah.
And reevaluating and redoing the facility itself for bigger and better expansion.
Okay. So that building, what did it house?
Basically, it used to be a storage building, and we got permission to build another one, and all of our finished goods went on top of the hill. But the building that burned down did have our new glass pulverizer system in it, so we did lose the glass recycling.
Now, do you think that's something we're going to get back?
Absolutely. I've already got the fiscal court vote.
Okay.
We're going to put that out for bid real soon, and unfortunately, it's the last time we ordered one, there's like a 9-month lead time.
Yeah, so somebody actually, you know, a lot of people are going to say, well, how are we paying for that? Who's paying for that? Now, I know, and I'm going to tell you a little story if y'all are listening. I'm going to tell you that a while back, what happened is Judge Koch got elected. And then he said, you know what, the first thing I'm going to do, he even ran on this in his campaign. I should know because I helped him run for office.
Right.
But he ran that he was going to get a grant writer. And he did that. And a lot of people were upset because that was expanding government, right?
Right.
But I think recently that grant writer more than paid for his salary 10 times over, because it came to the tune of a little over $3 million or something. Do you remember the actual number? And I know that's not all coming to Meade County. It's all of the partnering counties, but there's a large chunk of change that came out of it. What was the total?
Well, the grant writer does all different types of grants, but specifically, this one is the recycling grant, and it comes from the Kentucky Pride Fund, Division of Waste Management, and we were awarded around $1.3 million.
1.3 million, and that was not all coming to us though. That was going to some of our partner counties.
It goes to our partners, but
they're spending it here in Meade County to cover their costs.
Yeah, so they got awarded those funds for the equipment to bring to Meade County for the volume.
There you go. So now that is coming in for the volume, that turns into dollars for the county, because that recycling goods, and I think you were trying to tell us at the last chamber, there's numbers on a lot of plastic items, right?
There is.
So, and it's the 1 and 2.
The 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So, and now the caps that are on your Mountain Dew bottles or whatever you drink for your sodas, those go right in. You don't have to take them off anymore.
Yep, says it right on the top.
Yep, so, which I think is great. But the water bottles don't cut the mustard.
Yeah, very true, but to the end user that we sell to, they don't really mind. So you can leave the caps on your water bottle if you want.
But so do the water bottles get recycled?
They do.
Okay, so they're a 1 or a 2?
Yeah, they're a 1.
Okay, good. Because I was worried at some point that those were just, you know, rinse and repeat water bottles, because they'll melt them down and make more water bottles out of those, but that wasn't the same quality as the other type of water bottles. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what does the pulverizer do for the county?
The pulverizer was a really, really neat machine. I will be 100% honest with you. Whenever we received the machine, we were not ready for it. So God did give us a great big redo button, and we're more prepared for this time. What it does is it takes you.
I love that you said that, because I'm a Christian. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud to say God is a part of everything, and so I'm glad you said that. But go ahead.
And I'm the same way. Basically, what we can do is we can take your glass jars and glass containers. It'll run through a surge hopper up to a conveyor, and then it runs into the pulverizing system itself, which is kind of like tire shredder or a limb shredder, if you've seen one, it's just knives that's constantly turning. And it goes into a mesh system where it creates 3/8-inch glass for landscaping and also sand at the same time.
You can use that for backfill too.
You absolutely can. And while this glass is processing, the label and the cap go through the trash side, so you don't have to take your caps off if you don't want to.
Yeah, another interesting feature of this is up in the upper north, they use sand a lot for their roads where we've got bad weather and ice. People would rather use a lot of sand
Yes.
over salt. So how much glass will be prevented from going into the landfills as a result of this opportunity?
Well, whenever we first started pulverizing the glass, we didn't accept it from our partners because I don't want my guys to have to sort it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows broken glass is very sharp, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. But this machine can turn out 1 to 2 tons per hour.
Wow.
And there for a while, we had enough to run it for probably 3 days straight.
Do you have the storage to store the recycling materials after they're recycled? Do you have the storage for that and the distribution set up for getting it out to the market?
Well, that was the thing whenever I made the comment earlier that we wasn't really prepared for it, and now we are.
So how will we distribute the output of that? And
So-
how do we sell it? What is that worth to a consumer? Do we have a consumer base?
A consumer around here, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Kentucky's behind when it comes to glass recycling. There's a company in Louisiana called Glass Half Full. I highly recommend you all YouTube that or Google it because
Okay.
that is just the neatest program. But with us, you said backfill. We can use it for landscaping. You can use it for your pool sand.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, see, I know a lot of people that want to do pole barns. And when I first mentioned that when I was moving here as backfill, they looked at me like I was crazy. Why would you want to use a bunch of glass? Because their first impression was like, your barn's going to smell like beer or something. You know,
Right.
nasty beer. I promise you that that process of recycling, you lose all of that because of the heat involved in the friction, the crushing, and everything else.
And not only that, but this machine is equipped with a misting pump. It keeps the sand down, and it also rinses the glass while it's pulverizing.
Yeah, so yeah, I try to explain that, and people looked at me like I was crazy. But I would think that is because there's places that have glass beyond glass, and they'll give it away for free.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of getting it from those facilities before it goes into a landfill, bringing it to us, pulverizing it, and then actually our local landscapers can use that as fill. I would almost think that you could use that in a lot of the septic systems for laying the lines and stuff because you can granulize this in different sizes, correct?
Yes.
So you may not even have to use like gravel, which is more expensive. You can use the recycled glass in different clump sizes, and it's not sharp like you had the.
No, yeah.
Talk about the different grain sizes because you had 3 different jars at one time.
Yeah. So what we done, and we opened a window in front of our facility. If you're familiar with our facility, we have several different windows for several different products. But we had one for glass, and I want to really thank the community for sorting it yourselves because we separated the green from the brown from the clear. That way we can get 3 different type products. The clear glass and the green glass, when you mix it together and you rinse it off, it's just absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And the brown glass, if you mix it all together, it's still a great product. It's very shiny. It's just
Like black backfill.
yeah,
Dirt.
It's all around beautiful. You
Yeah.
can use it for anything.
That's crazy. So besides the recycling, when that comes online, so you think probably within the next year we'll see that back online?
Absolutely.
Yeah, penning the backlog of getting a new machine and the building built. So
Yeah.
And then, so what are the other programs that are going on in the recycling center that are? Isn't there going to be a new recycling process in the county with our new trash service or something like that? I was hearing about.
No, I'm not. I haven't heard that. The thing about the door-to-door recycling is these major companies like Waste Management or Republic, they don't want to do it because there's no money for them to for them to make any. And that's why the city of Brandenburg is servicing the city. And I'm super glad they're doing that. It's a great program.
But it's not going to be out in the county-wide. It's just in Brandenburg.
It's just
right now.
in city limits.
And that's okay. There's a larger population here. What about within the Doe Valley? Has been any consideration for them?
No, not at this time. But I will tell you that we have 8 satellite locations.
Okay.
Battletown, Rodelia, Painville, Muldrow.
At the old dollar store in Mulder. I see it all the time up
Yes.
there.
And then, of course, Doe Valley and Flaherty. And we also service the city of Irvington.
Yeah, well, they're neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome. In fact, every time I'm going out somewhere, I try to throw boxes in my car so I can hit one of those, depending on the route I'm going, which is great because if you're going in any direction from Meade County, there is probably, you'll see a recycling location somewhere. Now, how much business are we getting from our neighbor counties?
Oh, it's amazing. So we have several different interlocal agreements with all surrounding counties, and me and Judge Koch are trying to reach out and bring more counties in. And the volume is tremendous. So, for example, our cardboard pit, I don't know if you've been in the back to actually see what we do, but we process over 20, 40, we average probably 100 to 120 tons of cardboard a month.
Yeah, Amazon, thank you.
Yeah, and
yeah, I'm guilty.
That's just cardboard.
I try to bust them down thin too, because when your doors are closed and I have to bust them down, it's a lot more work to get them in that
Right.
container. But yeah, I see y'all back out there. Now you have regular dumping though too. If anything and everything, you can bring it in there and dump it. So,
Well, not anything, and I would like to talk about this a little bit if you don't mind.
no, please.
We do offer the transfer station in the back, and as of right now, you can bring household garbage for free.
TV that doesn't
Yeah.
work, monitor that doesn't
Yeah.
work, all that stuff.
That old couch that you don't want to put on your back porch or front porch, just go ahead and bring it to us. That way, it's out of sight, out of mind. The thing about it is we do not have a hazardous waste permit. So,
So you can't bring and dump oil and all that other
well, we do oil, we do antifreeze, hydraulic fluid, but what I wanted to stress on is the lithium-ion batteries.
stuff. Ooh, okay.
Those cause fires.
Yeah. Hence,
Yeah. Paint.
Yeah.
It's got to be dried or emptied.
Okay.
Where
Where do you empty paint? You can't empty it in your septic system.
No, and please don't put it in the Ohio River neither.
Yeah.
But actually, Lowe's they sell this little kit that it's liquid form, and you
Okay.
can pour it into your paint, and within hours it'll be dry.
Really?
And we also tell our citizens to put kitty litter or oil dry in it.
Okay.
Just harden it up enough to where we can get rid of it safely.
Okay. So it's already absorbed into something. It doesn't absorb into any more soil.
Right.
And affect the water table. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So does Lowe's charge for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a couple bucks and comes in a 3 or 6 pack. It's not.
Very good to know.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really neat. A lot of people don't know about that.
I bet you some people just dump it and don't even know it, and then y'all catch it when you're scooping it or smashing it.
Yeah, the greatest thing is whenever you run over a gallon of purple paint, and then next thing you know, your backhoe's purple.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So I've seen y'all do some crazy things with those backhoes, lifting stuff up, using all the hydraulics to lift it up to get high enough to get the stuff to push it down.
Yes.
And fill up the containers. You have containers coming in and going out all of the time. What does that distribution look like?
Oh, it's pretty wild. Right now, we have 2 truck drivers that are very loyal, and they run at least 3 trips to the landfill, and that's a 2-hour round trip. So they turn and burn.
Yeah, I've driven to that landfill before, all the way out past Hardin, out on the is it the Bluegrass? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up
So,
there, Pearl Hollow, Autumn and Trace.
yeah, it's not a short trip.
Right.
Yeah. So, if we were able to get end users of the sand, like these states that use it for the roads and road departments and stuff like that, because we're neighbors to a lot of states that could potentially use that product. How much money could we save them if they would do a contract with Meade County and we supplied it? Would they have to come and pick it up, or would we have to deliver it to make those types of sales?
To be honest with you, I would rather them come pick it up. I don't want to pay a freight charge.
Sure.
But there's no telling. Sky's the limit. Like I said, there's very few counties in Kentucky that has one at this size and this capacity. It would bring amazing things to the county.
I'd be curious to see how much input and output we could produce in order to generate that. But again, if we did do that type of input and we had the constant supply from all of these, you got to think of every bar and food service industry that has glass bottle service.
Yes.
And that the millions, plus the liquor stores and beer stores that sell beer or glass bottled beverage containers.
Yes.
And if everybody just put them in a can and dumped them at one of the recycling center locations and transported them from every county to Meade County, I can only imagine what we could do with all of that.
That would be fantastic. To be honest with you, before we lost the machine, we partnered with the shop right there beside our facility.
Oh, good.
We put a 10-yard out there, and those guys were just great.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I can imagine. I was going to say they go through a pretty good supply there.
Well, yeah, and speaking of bars, of course, you said glass bottles, but you also get aluminum cans. That's an also win for the county.
Yes, that is because aluminum goes a little bit better and a little bit longer for other dollars, I'm sure. So, all right. So, Jacob, what else do you want to talk about for talking trash today?
Okay.
What's the biggest trash talk you want to give?
Okay. If you've been paying attention to fiscal court or our facility, we just bid out the garbage franchise contract, and Republic Services has won it. We will have Republic Services for the next 3 years. So if you are not subscribed to Republic Services, please do so.
Yeah. So there was an interesting controversy on that. I'm going to play Stump the Chump here, but there was a lot of people that called and questioned, and of course everybody had their chance. I was actually disappointed at the number of turnout at the open forum meeting that was done at the annex. And then it's like all of a sudden now they picked the bid and they voted on it, and now they're all mad. And I'm like, where were you when they were at the open hearing?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then where were you when it was at physical court?
Right.
And then when they made the final decision, and I know that there was some discern because it was a little bit higher to go with the Republic than some of the other or bidders, or that was the consternation, right?
Right.
But it was also, sometimes you have to go for quality of service
Yes.
versus quantity of service.
Right.
Price versus cost. I mean, you could watch any Zig Ziglar on that, and there is, over time, cost versus price can add up to more than what the price would have been if you went with a different vendor. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of why they selected, but that is our vendor. I haven't had a problem with the Republics other than my business at one time for out on 1638. Is it Wednesday or is it Friday? Because I left it out there all day Wednesday and all day Friday, and nobody picked it up, and it hasn't moved since Wednesday. So, and now I'm into the next week. So how many weeks I'm going to go without it? But, they have a great customer service. You can either clip online that they missed you, or you can call them up and clip that they missed you, as long as you're calling them during business hours. But to some people's point that are on a fixed income, I think y'all resolved that as well, didn't you, for the payments if you're on a fixed income, and how they can set up a special payment arrangement for our fixed income folks that are retired and living in our county and paying for services rendered instead of in advance. Is that correct?
Yes. So every time that I get in front of a camera, or whenever I'm doing a speech at fiscal court or anywhere, when I'm talking to a citizen, I encourage you to call me. Stop by the shop and talk to me. I want to know your concerns. I want to know your opinions, because my best ideas come from the citizens and my employees.
Yep.
They're the ones out there living it, doing it. So if you've got anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to call me.
You've gotten really good about getting in front of people too lately. I remember the first time I saw you, you were all shaky.
I was a little shaky.
Yeah, you were a little shaky, but you still delivered a heck of a home run.
Yeah,
I think it was when you were trying to sell the trucks. It was a while back.
Yeah, the trucks. The trucks was a win. I don't know if you paid attention to the auction or not, but
it was big.
That's a great program to do every year.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. So I want to cover one last topic before we close it out for the day, but it's shredding paper.
Absolutely.
So I didn't know this until we did the chamber luncheon, and a lot of people probably didn't know this, and you should know this, but you provide a shredding service in the county.
Absolutely.
So for our banks and lawyers and folks that have private information, you can actually certify that it was shredded, correct?
Yes, we have a stationary shredder at our facility. Anybody is more than welcome to come shred their white paper or any type of paper. We also have a portable shredder that we can bring to your facility if that makes you feel better or more comfortable actually seeing it shred yourself. We can also provide a certificate of destruction.
Yeah, how
paper.
much is it to have you come to my business and me shred my papers there?
The county does that for free.
Wait, hold on a second. How much?
Free.
During this inflation?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how valuable sorted office paper is to the facility, because if you look at the price sheets, and a lot of people,
some people are paying a heavy penny just to do that.
They are. The recycling that we do, a lot of people don't, partake in it. Everybody wants to recycle copper, aluminum, metal. But the plastics and the paper is actually a high value. You get so much per ton for that. So we want anything and everything we can get.
So, as a responsible manager of a department of our department of our government,
Yes.
You're operating in the black, aren't you?
Yes.
You're not in the red.
No.
So you're turning a profit for the county. You're paying your bills and you're paying your employees, and you're actually generating revenues through these types of services.
Yes, we strive to break even.
Okay.
Okay, but if we make a profit, that's great, because all the money that we make goes back into the county. It's not like it goes into our
And the
pockets.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're one of those environmental friendly people that sway in that direction, and you're not using this, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I do try to recycle the boxes. I'll try to do better with the glass for sure, and the cans and soda pops. I think I do that too. But I think that we as a county trying to protect our own county for its future, and then our regional partners are on board with that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. It's an amazing program. Meade County
Doesn't cost our taxpayers any more money.
doesn't cost.
Businesses have an opportunity to leverage it right at their doorstep, no extra cost, and you still get the certificate of destruction,
Correct.
so that you can back up your records.
Yep, and we can also provide the weight that we take out of your facility as well, if you need that.
Now, do you recycle presidential kids' laptops or anything like that too, or?
As of right now, we don't have an electronic scrap program, but
Because there's gold and silver in that,
there is. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a program to where I don't have to pay them to take it.
Okay.
If we can break even, if they want our product and, I don't pay them, they don't pay me, great.
That would be great.
Yeah, as long as it don't go to landfill, it's a win for us.
So it's actually, I was doing some research on this. It's actually really expensive to recycle that stuff because of the chemicals and the processes that it goes through, and to separate the metal materials. I mean, we got multiple different, what are they called? Gold, silver.
Yeah, the motherboards.
And but there's other like Silicon Valley type materials that are in there that are, I forget what they're called, but they mine for them. But anyway, it's hard to get those back out of them because it's all in there together.
Oh yeah, they put them together very well.
But there is a lot of gold in there that gets dumped back into just wasted.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, any final thoughts for the audience?
Feel free to come see me anytime. I can talk about the facility all day, every day.
You can. I can too. I'm probably one of your best customers.
Well, I appreciate that.
No worries. Hey, folks, just getting back into the studio today. Glad to have you, Jacob. Super appreciate y'all tuning in today as we continue to focus on where we are going as a paper. We are becoming a community paper, and not just for the Meade County community, but we are also focused on our neighbors in Radcliffe and Fort Knox. So I went out and distributed more papers to Fort Knox today because the new paper came out this week, and all of the newsstands were empty. All of them. I have six spots at Fort Knox, and they were all gone. Everybody took one, so it was great. So we're getting the word out there. I think we distributed about 400 issues out there, and then plus we have over 1,800 subscribers, and then our local businesses where we distribute here locally. So our community is coming together, and it's turning out to be really good. If you've got some feedback for us, please reach out, check our website, get us on social media. Always open to comments and suggestions. I did get rid of the horoscopes. They're not coming back. If you want your future, go grab a Bible and read it. Your future's in there, I promise. Everybody else, y'all have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Jacob, you have a great day, and thanks for doing what you do for our county.
Thank you.
We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.